Shall we begin?
Let's do it.
Hi everybody, I'm Nam.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're bringing you a game from the Millennium Games Netrunner League.
Just casual play with some good fellas playing some good cards.
Or bad decks.
Or goofy trophy decks.
We haven't even explained to them the trophies before.
Oh, let's save that and see if it comes up.
We'll wait. Actually, let's wait to see if we can get Jeremy, because he is the mastermind behind the league, because he organizes the league at Millennium.
That's Jeremy sitting on the right now, playing Near Earth Hub.
And on the left we have Ray, and he is playing Kit, Rielle.
I'm a big Kit fan. So, Jeremy, starting out strong, 2 ice. Getting that draw off that remote install.
Alright, so Near Earth Hub, it is the identity that lets you draw a card the first time you create a brand new server each turn.
You may have heard of it. It's a little bit popular.
Very popular.
But Ray on the left there, dropping the Mopus, click 1, turn 1. Can't be too sad about that, and just taking 6 credits with the rest of his turn.
And Rielle over here, her ability is the first time that she encounters a piece of ice each turn, it is a code gate until for the rest of the run.
For the rest of the run, yes. Yeah. So Kit has been pretty happy lately. This game was recorded maybe a week or two after the second data pack of the Sand Cycle came out, and
Breaker Bay,
and there was a little shaper card in there called Study Guide.
Study Guide,
which is the coolest code gate breaker ever, in my opinion. Study Guide says for 2 credits you put a power counter on it, and its strength is equal to the number of power counters on it. So kind of like the Gordian Blade mentality of boost and maintaining for the run, except you boost and maintain forever.
Yeah.
And obviously Kit likes that because she's always going to be hitting code gates.
Right, understood. And but the one drawback is it does have 0 strength base.
It does have 0 base strength, and it is 2 credits per strength. So unless you're getting up and running quickly and have a lot of money, like with this Mopus here, it's a little bit of a slower code gate breaker.
It's okay. It'll totally be worth it.
I would say so.
Is that it right there?
No,
that's something else.
That looks like Alpha. There's no way that's Alpha.
No, I don't think he plays Alpha.
I can't tell what that is.
All right. Is it the lighting? I'm sorry.
No, it's...
You just don't know what it is? Because I don't know what it is
I just don't know. What is that card? Huh. Well...
All right, well, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Jeremy does something interesting, and he actually advances ice.
So, there has been a variant of Near Earth Hub going around using some of that new Wayland ice that came out, and also using Trick of Light to kind of play a different fast advance game. And the benefit of using that Wayland advanceable ice is one of, maybe not so much recently, but especially a year or so ago, one of NBN's biggest weaknesses was they had all the fast advance tools, but they didn't have really impactful ice, especially cheap ice. They had Toll Booth, but that's 8 to res, and that doesn't really fit into a fast advance strategy.
Right, that's true. And the reason why I actually think that this kind of build with the Trick of Light is going to catch on is because if you actually have these advancement counters somewhere, it's actually actively working to help protect you in some way, whether it's increasing the strength of something or reducing the cost of something. And then as soon as it's rezzed or done with or not necessary anymore, then you use the tokens to advance an agenda. And it works out amazingly.
It does work pretty well. So Ray puts down a cloak to get that recurring credit for use with icebreakers.
And he also gets a same old thing.
Gotta love it. So that cloak is another thing that helps that new card Study Guide out a lot. Because like I said, the biggest weakness is the 2 credits each time. But with recurring credits, that is seriously mitigated.
Yeah, you could totally use the recurring credits all the time. And that will... you know what I think would actually be really good in this deck? I don't know if he runs it. Stim Hack.
Oh, that would actually be great. That is definitely a great card with... Kit likes that in general. For a while, people were playing Kit or Chaos Theory Stim Shop, which is still a strong build.
Still really good, but, I mean, even with this and just with Kit, I mean, it's you can totally just get the benefit immediately.
Absolutely. So Jeremy kind of sitting back as NEH. He loads up the marked accounts, gets some money, And I would assume with all this advanceable ice, he's going to wait a turn or two and not be such a rush deck as you normally might see. Resin that wraparound. Classic.
Yeah, the one thing about Jeremy's build here is, I don't know if it's the hand that he drew or if it's his build deliberately. He's actually going not as horizontal as fast as some other Near Earth Hub builds are going.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. There's been, with the release of Clot, there's kind of been a big shift in the Near Earth Hub play. And we see a lot more popularity in the kill decks, like the Butcher Shop deck, which I've seen variants of that only run maybe 6 assets and no upgrades, not even Sand. That's a very extreme cases, but people will run 3 daily business shows and 3 Jacksons, and that's it.
And they're basically just going for the kill, just deck search for everything.
Yep. And Near Earth Hub is just good with that extra 2 influence.
Yeah, I'm not sure how some of the influence is being used in some of those Butcher Shop decks, but
Scorch and Traffic Accident. That is it.
Okay, alright, that's pretty good.
So good.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, but that's clearly not what well, maybe not clearly. He might be doing that here with a single advanceable ice. Who knows? I don't know.
We don't know.
We're watching fresh with you, viewer. We're in this together.
I mean, we may know these people and hang out with them pretty regularly, at least once a week, just because of League. But who knows what they do in the off? Not on Monday.
There it is. The first piece of Wayland advanceable ice. Looks like an Orion to me.
Perhaps. I think, yeah, to be honest, I'm sorry, the glare is interfering with our ability to see this.
Oh.
Oh, wow. He accesses both, and...
steals the Beal, trashes the Sand. Well, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, if that's any indicator what kind of deck Jeremy's playing.
So that leads me to believe that is Alpha that's down there, because he was able to break it no problem.
Maybe you're right. To be honest, it kind of does look like the Alpha artwork, but I can't really tell. How's the Omega artwork slightly different?
Yeah, I mean,
they
you see those cards so rarely.
Yeah.
So Jeremy is obviously bummed about the deal, but sneaks out an Astro. So a little bit of a win there.
If you didn't notice earlier, he actually had... Oh, no. That was the agenda he had in hand. He didn't have an Astro script, did he?
He did have the Astro script in hand, and he used the Trick of Light to score it out in one turn.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, he probably noticed that there was no SMCs, no clone chips or anything like that on the Shaper side, so there was no risk of clop.
Right. And also with Kit, she has fewer influence, so running that clot would totally eat up a higher percentage of that influence.
It's true.
Compared to others.
That's a very good point. It's not such an easy include as it is in Kate.
No.
Or in Professor.
But I mean, the Professor would only have one.
Yeah. But you only need one. You're sure.
Okay, you're right.
You only need one of anything.
True.
Alright.
Alright, installing something else. And protecting.
So, interesting. He's building a legitimate scoring remote with a couple pieces of ice.
So I had a question from a viewer last time watching one of Jeremy's games. They were wondering where he got these pyramids that he uses for his click counters. Do you know?
Oh, they're from a game.
Yes.
Looney Labs makes?
Yep, Looney Labs, Looney Pyramids. I believe that's what he's using. So
yeah, it's like a little stacking game, and he just repurposed the pieces.
To be honest, he uses it way more for Netrunner for this purpose than for the actual game.
Good old Looney Labs.
Good old Looney Labs. And I like his money, his credit counters
the
too.
poker chips with the sketchily drawn credits.
They're actually they're mini poker chips, or whatever they actually are. And I think Jeremy manually drew that eye on all of them.
So much
There's
work.
So many things.
So it looks like, if I were to take a guess, he's trying to do the same play that he did last time, but hoping the extra piece of ice will keep Ray out. Where he has the sand in the server, installs ice over it, and just advances it out next turn.
Yep.
But could be shenanigans also.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see. I did not actively watch this one as it was being played. Nor am I in this game. So.
Yeah, it's not as much insight when you're not in the game yourself, huh?
No.
It's nice, though. A little bit of entertainment, see what's going on.
I can't tell if Jeremy's telling a story or trying to persuade Ray of doing something.
Maybe a combination of the two.
Maybe.
Telling him a story about the time that the runner ran and nothing went wrong, even a little bit.
Yeah, you won't die, I promise.
So we did see Trick of Light in Jeremy's hand. So what we might expect to see soon is, even though the Celestial Ice is rezzed, he might throw another advancement counter on it just to have 2 for Trick of Light purposes.
R&D interface.
That's good. And he's clone chipping something? He's clone chipping an SMC, popping it right away to grab. What will it be? My money's on study guide.
Okay. Is he counting? Is he trying to make sure
to grab nothing?
Oh man, this
Tough
is
decision.
Epic choice. What will Ray choose?
I have these moments where I play a new Shaper deck and I pop the SMC and I go, oh wait, I didn't put anything in here.
That's funny because I actually did the same thing with
there it is, study guide.
Yeah, study guide.
Oh, my favorite card.
I did the same thing with an Anarch deck. I'd put Eater into my noise deck.
Okay.
And I forgot to finish editing the deck, so there's actually no purpose. Maybe the biggest purpose would have been using it with to run an HQ. No, see, Keyhole wasn't in the deck. That
Account Siphon or something.
No, I didn't have that in the deck.
Oh my goodness.
I would have needed to Lamprey and just have them out and run on HQ.
Anyway, we see Ray building the really nice study guide right here where he has a lockpick and a cloak and the study guide out, of course. So he gets a free strength counter on it every turn with those 2 recurring credits. Sees a Trick of Light.
Ooh.
Ominous.
He wishes he could trash that.
Where's your imp, man? Get it out of there.
You gotta call in favors to Eddie Kim.
Yeah.
I would actually like to see some card, maybe like a resource, Eddie Kim's assistant or something. And give every other runner the chance
Does he have a secretary or something like that?
I don't know. He could.
That the secretary has a robotic leg. Oh, installed advanced, a piece of ice.
I'm going to say that I'm sure Jeremy can res that at this point.
And if not, if he doesn't res it, definitely setting up the Trick of Light play.
Yes, definitely that too.
So it's a win-win situation. So if I was in Ray's shoes as the runner, I would not run that ice because I don't want to give him the cheap res and then be able to pull the counters off easily. I was playing Advanceable Ice out of Wayland for a while, and I would just wait until the runner allowed me to res the ice at the discount before using the Trick of Light. You get more bang for your buck.
Yeah, see, optimistically, that's probably the best way to use it. Sometimes, though, you don't have a choice.
Oh, of course.
If the runner's putting a lot of pressure on HQ,
right?
Like in a prior video, you had said that you were trying to apply HQ pressure using Leela. I mean, some instances you just need to get it out.
For sure. It's nice to have flexibility, but if I were Ray here, I would probably be doing just that, putting the HQ pressure on, either to hit the agenda that he's holding for the fast advance, or not. At least you're not allowing him to res that ice at a discount.
Yeah.
So what do we see there?
That's a Jackson.
Wowza.
Jackson in the protected remote.
And it was sitting there for, 3-4 turns?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
bluff.
Maybe the first one, Ray was like, okay, well, let's see if he scores it next turn. And then after he didn't, he probably suspected that it was something not to be not important enough.
Makes sense to me.
But really, if you think about it, right, Ray can pretty much get in anywhere except for the 2 servers with 2 ice. If this was a deck with more ice, he might have a lot more trouble with it, because he couldn't get through servers that are too deep.
Exactly. If I had to take a wild guess, I would imagine Ray might be either running Tinkering or a Paintbrush in here, and it's kind of going all in on that study guide, because he has the recurring credits to boost it, and he might end up just doing that, just banking on making everything code gates and getting in where he wants to.
Oh, Jeremy just did a manual restructure of
Ooh.
moving a bunch of cards. No, but yeah, if you actually take a look at the setup right now, maybe Ray knows this, and he had set it up so that the 2 back ice are both rezzed. And so that would lead me to believe that it's more likely that he has a paintbrushing in deck versus the tinkering, because with the tinkering he doesn't have to have things rezzed. But
And that would make sense with the Omega or Alpha or whichever that one is there, kind of being able to face check, force to res, and not really worry too much.
Oh, that's true, because then the one that's outermost is pretty much gotten through with his ability, and then the innermost is just dealt with by Omega.
But here we have a dilemma where there's now 2 unresed ice on that scoring remote.
Yes, what do you do with that? It's like...
Dig for a tinkering.
I guess so.
Oh, San resed. What do we see?
Yep, and he removes Jackson to put in those 3 cards. So Trick of Light and Sweep Sweep and San City Grid.
All good cards. Might as well see him again.
Let me just ask you this for a sec. When do you put bad cards in your deck? They're all good. You put only good cards in your deck.
I'm a glutton for punishment. That's an excellent question.
I'm sure that, at this point the card pool is so vast, if you're using bad cards, your purpose has got to be either like bragging rights or, in our league's case, getting a trophy.
Maybe trophies. I think though, and he fast advance out, another Astro, of course.
Oh man.
But I think at this point, it's hard to even call cards in Netrunner bad. There's so few cards that aren't good for something. And what I really appreciate is cards that came out in the first cycle that we kind of pushed to the wayside are becoming very, very relevant. There's a lot of dialogue, and it's really interesting.
However, there's also some that do not have any relevance.
Like Firefox.
I mean, I've actually seen Firefox played. Name a time in which Disruptor was played.
I cannot do that.
Okay, there you go.
Just cannot do that.
All right, well, Ray's got more lockpicks now, so a lot more recurring credits for things.
Yeah, and it seems like even when he's not running, he's just pumping him into that study guide. Because, why not?
Yeah, and honestly, like, right now he knows that he could just run into... He could just run into that rezzed wraparound and just use credits just to pump his thing up and not have to worry about... Because it's not going to hurt him, it'll just end the run. So.
Absolutely.
If you really think about it, like, with 4 recurring credits, that's 2 counters on study guide for just a click, effectively.
Yeah. And if there's nothing in front of that wraparound, it becomes a code gate when he runs it.
Oh, that's right. And then he can break through it anyway.
And that looks like what he's doing right now.
Yes. I think he's probably going to get it up to 7 strength. I think he's pumping all of his money into it. It's now at 7, and he just breaks it. All right.
To see 3 cards.
Ooh, first one.
Oh,
second one. In a row. So it's...
Whoa.
Wow. That was a great turn.
Woo!
Good timing, Ray.
Study guy doing some work on that wraparound.
Studying pays off.
Kids out there that are listening to this, take notes.
Alright, so right now, Jeremy's in this precarious situation. Because he knows that Ray can get through that wraparound no problem. He has to ice up R&D, because he doesn't know what's up next.
I mean, all he needs is one piece of ice in front of that wraparound to turn off Kit's ability.
Pretty much.
But the question is, does he have it?
What I like to do is, against Kit, is to actually put code gates on the outermost.
Oh, you gotta.
I know, right?
Just throw a Quandary out there.
Especially Quandary. That's the best one.
So good.
Best one.
What is he gonna do? It looks like he's got no ice in hand, so he can't keep him out. And after the mandatory draw, Ray will see 3 brand new cards on the top of R&D.
Yeah, because he's got the 2 R&D interfaces. Also, if he's running Maker's Eye, he could see like 5.
That would be absurd.
That would be.
But possible. You never know. Ooh.
Jeremy installing.
Now, what does Ray do? If you were in Ray's situation not knowing what that card was, do you run it?
Well, first of all, can he risk not getting through those? I mean, Jeremy actually only has, what, $2, so...
Well, he checks R&D first anyway. Might as well see 3 new cards. And that was the Ray
There
move.
it is!
There's the game.
So, Ray wins.
Yeah, going all in on that study guide with those recurring credits really paid off.
Pretty good call. Pretty good call.
An R&D interface just proving... If you're in the situation like this where you're making a strong run each turn, R&D interface is... huge.
Yeah, keep in mind that power play of forged activation orders got rid of that second ice there.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, with a few influence. Isn't forged 2 influence.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so he had to actually make a critical call there to get that.
Yeah.
But hey, it looked like it paid off in this game. That's our game. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.